Paul here from Miniature Battles. Welcome to Escalation and Stronghold Assault book reviews, or, oh my god, the world is ending. I'm never going to play this game again. I'm never going to play people that bring that stuff because I don't have it and I think it's unfair, and it's not unfair. Relax. Games Workshop has put these books out to add and expand upon 40K, the base games, not Apocalypse. They are Apocalypse weapons and stuff like that in Escalation, but calm down, give the game a chance. Play a couple of games, and if you don't like it, then you don't have to play it. But don't jump off the deep end before you've had a chance to play it and see what happens. Quickly on the book reviews, real quick. A couple of things I'm going to give you. Escalation. Number one, the rules are similar to Apocalypse. I'm not going to go through Apocalypse rules. If you want to know, go check it out. Most of everybody that's seen these have played those rules. The disparity within it is if you don't have, for those players that are complaining and saying that they don't want to play it, there is a section in here that allows you to take certain abilities and things that allows you to kind of offset. The game's never been balanced. Escalation is not a balanced book by any means, but it does have a thing in there that allows you, if you don't have a super heavy, to come in with something, some kind of an ability to take one out. One of the other things that they did with this is they added it in as an organization section in here. So when you look at this, there's an actual slot, the same as it is for everything else, okay, that allows for a primary detachment and everything else. Then you get your fortifications, your allied detachment, and then your Lords of War slot, which is what this is called, these super heavies and the gargantuan creatures in this thing. No reason to panic, folks, except for the fact that they may actually consider writing these rules into the 7th edition main rule book. If it's going to be something that's allowed, it would stand to reason that you put it in there and add to things later. Or, you know, if they really want to gouge us and take all of our money, they'll just reprint the 6th edition to the 7th edition, update this book, and bingo, another $50 spent by all of us. Lastly, with the book, it allows you to bring certain super heavies. And some of them are Forge World models. And this is where I kind of think this is kind of weird. This Tiger Shark, for example, from Tau, is not allowed. It's an XA1. It's got the super heavy railguns and whatnot. The regular Tiger Shark with the ion stuff is allowed. Okay. The Thunderhawk is another Forge World piece that can come in. The Revenant Titan from Eldar, but you can't bring the big boys. So down the road, and I know that next year that there's been rumors and all throughout the blog sites, different ones, saying that there's a website change coming up for Games Workshop, and there's been some rumor, and I don't have this on any kind of authority, that there's a chance that they may change and incorporate some Forge World pieces to the Games Workshop website. It's the same company, it's just two different names. But if they're going to do any kind of changes, there's a chance, a slight chance, but it's a chance nonetheless, that the Forge World pieces that are going to be in this book, like I said about the variation of this one, in this book, may go to plastic, and that could make the game a little bit more affordable for people. The thing that is this model, the Corn Order Skulls, which is we've had since I haven't done anything with it other than base coated it, was $160. This model, the Tiger Shark, was $280, I want to say, from Forge World. So there's quite a disparity because it's in resin. If Games Workshop is trying to make the game a little bit more affordable and incorporate more Forge World pieces or more of the super heavies, they may do just that. They may turn some of these into plastic. Although I don't know what the reasoning would be behind that, because you don't make as much money unless you're trying to sell more, which obviously then you would, but it's hard to say. It's real hard to say. Stronghold Assault, the other book that they put out, and they both came out the same week. We're a little bit behind, but Stronghold Assault updates all your buildings. It has a set of scenarios in there that you can play for building assaults and things like that. For example, some of the rules, the updates rules that they did was adding an ammo dump so that you can reroll all your fail to hit rolls if you're next to it, or if you're within so many inches of it. These guys, the Stronghold Assault, or the Stronghold, I'm sorry, the fortifications, excuse me, are things that you can buy and piece together over time, which is a little bit more affordable to most of us. I don't know of anybody that can just sit down and drop $600-700 on an entire assault point. One of the interesting things in the Stronghold Assault that I noticed is the deep strike rules. If you can incorporate this book and this book together, for example, and you have a flyer. A flyer in this book, if you're using this book and you bring a Sky Shield landing pad, for example, can come in first turn and start shooting first turn. Can't do flat out moves and goofy stuff, but it can be on the board first turn, your flyer can. So that's kind of nice. So if you didn't have, for example, a super heavy, but you're playing both books, and you have a Sky Landing Shield, or you've got one at your local gaming club that allows you to use one, or you're proxying one if you want to, you can bring it in first turn and try and shoot that super heavy right out of the sky if you're playing both books. That being said, the last thing on this is it stands to reason that with the new Warriors Code that Games Workshop's put out, they put out a code that in one of the sections in there it says you don't proxy models. Okay, well that's fine and all, but if somebody's bought something like this and they're playing Escalation in a tournament that Forge World is putting on and they're using this Warriors Code, these pieces don't come with the regular ion cannons. It only comes with the heavy railguns, and this model front end is a little bit different. So what they're saying to you is that you have to buy another model. I mean, that's a little bit unfair to the player. So it's something that maybe needed to be changed in an FAQ or answered in an FAQ or an errata to say, hey, look, if you're bringing a certain one, you can change it. Because not everybody has the stuff to magnetize and change and do all that stuff. It's quite time consuming. So that's something to watch out for when you're going to play in something that's an official tournament. They also say that you have to have all painted models, so, well, this guy's out. Anyway, that is basically the two books in a nutshell. If you have any comments or questions, please do so. Leave an email. If you're on the YouTube website, please go to our website, which is miniaturebattles.com. This is Paul saying, relax, it's not the end of the world. Play a couple of games, see what happens, and happy wargaming.